Hello, fellow Geeksters, and welcome to Pardon, my Geek podcast.
And welcome back to Pardon, my Geek podcast, where nerd cultural...
brain words.
Editor, destroy it all! Welcome back to Pardon, my Geek, where nerd culture is taken seriously and not seriously at all. I am your host, Josiah, and joined always by my handsome co-host, Quinn.
I appreciate the compliment, good sir. Mr.
Yes.
Good looking yourself.
Yes, he is repping his school's merch today. I just noticed that. Gotta give them a little plug.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs. I'm a Beavs. They suck in football, but you know.
Oh, this year was awful.
No, this year was terrible.
they won like one or two games.
I don't know what they were doing, and I don't follow college football a lot. Mainly like when the Champions just starts and the Big Ten, and when it gets down to the wire, and for prospects for NFL, because I'm a big NFL guy.
Yeah.
Fantasy football, my thing. If you hadn't noticed with the draft games recently and stuff.
Oh yeah, I wonder where you got the ideas from those from.
Yeah. I wonder where. But we're just gonna jump on into today's episode. Today's episode is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna talk about a movie that's gonna start off a series that's gonna be lasting for the rest of the year until we get to a very special December 18th. With a special movie coming out then. So we need to do our homework and help you guys also to do your homework, because there may be some things that you missed. Yeah. But there's also probably things that we have missed as well.
Oh yeah, I have not watched every movie, so.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. We're going to watch every movie, including some of the trashy ones, the sucky ones. We're going to watch it, and we're going to review them. Honestly, we're going to give our honest opinions. We're going to tell you what to take from it, because there are some things you should take away from those crappy movies, because there are some things that are important in them. But we'll get into all of that later when I explain the new series. But until then, small talk. Quinn, update us on your fun, exciting college life.
I am sore.
I am broken.
I'm broken. So, for the audience, Joe knows this, but for the audience who might not, I do judo, which is a Japanese sport where you throw your opponent really freaking hard. And I started getting back into it, because I started last year, but I haven't really been able to do any of it this year. Started getting back into it, and my God, it hurts. I am so sore. It's not even the impact that hurts. It's just the fact that it basically does the same thing that lifting weights does, where my muscles just feel dead. I can't lift things anymore, because I am pulling and tugging people who are literally 30 pounds heavier than me, because I'm like the lightest person in the club. So, but it's been so much fun to get back into it, and I've been loving it. But I am very sore and very tired.
I can imagine how sore that must just like hurt like all the time, just like doing everything like that, and then it's not just you throwing other people around, it's you also getting thrown
and then
around.
I get thrown, yeah. And so, you learn how to fall to minimize the hurt. Your body weight's still hitting the ground, like it's still not pleasant.
Gravity is still active.
Yeah, but gravity's still thick.
Hurts.
Like, you can slap the ground as much as you want when you go down. You're still getting a little bit of pain every time you get thrown.
Gravity, you dirty dog.
You dirty dog. I've tried to do some judo stuff with Joe whenever we go rock climbing, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't like it.
I really don't. And listen, that's your thing. You do that. I'll stick to my thing, and
I was never gonna throw you. I just want to pick you up.
No, and didn't say it wasn't cool. Like, it was very cool what you did, and the way you were able to like get me into a position where like I was like, oh yeah,
I can't do anything here. Yep.
Nope, can't do. And there I go, and I fell.
Yep.
and I was on the ground. Luckily, we were at the climbing gym, so soft mats, and it was fun.
I was gonna say the climbing gym has softer mats than my dojo. Than my club. A land there, you're meant to fall from the top of a boulder wall. It's the softest throw you'll ever fear. Words. You'll ever feel. There it is. Got the words.
There you go. Yeah. Quinn knocked me down. It was very exhilarating to say, but it was fun.
Because of how Joe is composed, it.
Are you making a joke because I'm old or fragile or brittle?
I was making a joke that you're dense.
I thought you were making a joke that I just broke easily and just falling on the ground.
No, I was making a joke that you're dense.
That too.
We're the same height, but you're like 30 pounds heavier.
This is true. It's all my muscle and body fat.
How about yourself? How have you been?
Pretty good. This week was actually extremely busy for me. Last time we talked, I mentioned something about my Easter recap video that I still hadn't done.
Yeah. How's that been?
I did it.
Eh?
I did it. I finished that. I got 2 days to work on it, and the night before I spent 7 hours working on it and was up until 2 in the morning finishing it, and then I had to wake up early again to go to the church early to help out. But I finished it, and I think that is probably one of my favorite videos I have ever done, just because of how well it turned out, and it looked awesome, and I mean, it was professional level and color graded, all the fun things that you do in a professional video. So I was really happy how that turned out. But that did not slow me down. We still had the garage sale.
Yep,
our youth puts on a garage sale.
Yep.
And oh my gosh.
I know that's always very busy. It's a very busy time.
It's just a week of busyness at the church. The whole entire gym is filled with complete junk mixing with actually good stuff. And then we have a whole bunch of the kids who come, and then I pretty much just have to turn into a boss to tell them what to do and order them around. And I feel bad because they're youth, and so it's I don't really want to boss you around. No. But you are here to help working, so I'm going to put you to work.
Yeah, if you're here to help.
Right. And they were getting, paid. I say paid because it was really scholarship money to go to camps later on, and so that they don't have to pay. Which I think is the best way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, quarter cash is nice, but this is the second best option.
Right. But we also fed them food. They came and we had cooks that came and made us breakfast burritos in the morning.
Nice. And
then made us they made us hot dogs for lunch and stuff, but then they also brought some frozen Costco stuff that you could heat up in the oven, which was pretty good. Some of that stuff is decent. When you're working all day and you've been there since 8 in the morning, anything tastes good, really.
Right. You just need food.
And so it was fun. We mainly just had sign holders out standing by the street holding signs trying to get people to turn into. So a lot of the kids like doing that for some reason. I was I never liked doing that when I was working.
It's easy.
When I was a kid.
Garage sale. That's all you do. It's easy.
Right. But then... Yeah, but you're standing out there doing that for 30 minutes, and at that point it just gets tiring and stuff. I'd rather be inside sorting. But that was this weekend, and that was a ton of work, and I help. Like I said before, I help out with the youth group a lot. I don't want to put myself in the position, but I am technically number 2 of the youth group, right behind our youth pastor, just because I help out a lot and. I want to. I mean, yeah. I want to. It's not that
you're kind of
I'm
his
being forced to.
You're kind of like his right hand.
Yeah, I am. I help him with, camps and stuff. I'm going to 2 camps this summer, which is part of the reason why I don't think I'm going to be able to go back to church camp to be a videographer, just because
you're already going to be so busy.
I won't be able to commit to the camp, and that's like a very important thing with them. And I would have loved to do it, but it's like I've already committed to these other 2 camps. One of them costing almost $2,000 that I've paid. So I am not backing out on that one.
No, yeah, after that point. Cost fallacy and all that.
Yeah. But I'm excited for that one. And that's what my training I was doing this morning is for. Is for that trip. Because it's like a week-long Salt Lake City.
Nice. When is that trip?
It's over the 4th. Over the 4th of July.
So still like 3 or 4 months away.
Yeah. It's the first weekend in July. So it's a while out. So won't miss any big movies because they all come out in later July.
Silver lining.
Silver lining. Very silver lining. But yeah, that was my last weekend. Man, it was busy.
I hope you've been able to get some rest since then.
I have, actually. On Monday, I slept in. I woke up at 7 really, and I was like, "Ugh, no, go back to sleep, Josiah. This is your sleep in day. This is the day you get to sleep in, and then you got to go do a whole bunch of errands and other stuff and school things." And so I went back to bed and then woke up at 9. I was like, "All right, that's good."
Yep. Right.
Very well rested.
It's so depressing when 9 is your sleep in day. 9 used to just be when I woke up. Now when I can sleep to 9, I'm like, oh, that's great. I got so much rest.
This is amazing. I have energy. It can be like I can take on the world.
Why does adulting
It's
suck?
You're like, what has happened to me?
I go to bed at 11, maybe 11:30, and I wake up at 7. What happened to me?
But that's about it for my small talk on my life going on right now. Nothing too crazy, nothing too important.
Nice.
So let's move on, shall we?
The news.
We're going to get into the nerdy news.
Nerdy news, just a little nerdy news.
Very bump. That's not a word.
Very bump.
Very bump.
Nope, that's the name for it. Bump.
Yep.
Bump. Very okay. I'm sorry. All right, first nerdy news that I have for you today is Chris Hemsworth has finally signed a contract to return for Extraction 3, directed by Sam Hargrave, same guy from the last 2 who created the Extraction series. And the cast is set to return, with Idris Elba being a newer character introduced in Extraction 2. I'm sorry. All right, first set to return with Idris Elba.
Now it's just going to be called Joe's Yap Hour. Yep.
All right, first set to return with Idris Elba. All right, first set to return with Idris Elba.
It's got some prestige to it. I just looked at the IMDb's and Rotten Tomatoes reviews, and that tends to be a. I saw that the second one's better than the first. Yeah, maybe I should take a peek at these. I was gonna say, yeah, you should do a review on at least one of them. Ooh. Oh, like basically decapitates him? By the way, the reason I was a little confused is because Tim Drake is Robin. It's Robin from Batman, so basically decapitates him? Tyler, okay. Yeah, that's why I was a little confused. Like, Tim Drake doesn't... Sounds familiar. Oh, yeah. It's Robin. Drake. His name is vaguely familiar to Tim Drake. Basically decapitates him? Ooh. Oh. So he knows how to make good action sequences, probably. Basically decapitates him?
And there's an impressive one shot in the first sequence where it goes through buildings, onto cars, onto tops of buildings, and falls off of the buildings. And they hide some pan shots to switch cameras and to reset and stuff, and that's normal. But you watch it for the first time and you don't realize it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is all one take.
How many times does it take to film? Like,
yeah, exactly. They're like sneaking around this like apartment building. He's fighting, choreographed. Like, it's like 14 minutes long.
Oh damn!
Like, car action sequences, blowing up, getting chased, getting T-boned, then like, getting out of the car and moving into a different area. Like, some of the behind the scenes. Sam Hargrave, the director, holds the camera and then gets strapped onto the car while they're driving to film these action sequence. But it's all happening really quick, so he's like running out, leans back, and then his crew comes in, hooks him up, and then like gets out of the way of the camera. And then they're driving. He's just hanging onto the car with the camera. It's like,
yeah, you know,
I want that guy's job.
Right, that's a stunt coordinator right there. He's got no fear. Like,
no. I was like, I want that guy's job so bad. That looks so much fun.
Oh yeah, I forget that you're all about like thrill sports. Like, you wanna go like skydiving at some point.
Oh, 100% want to go skydiving. It would be a dream to go skydiving. Like, I would love to get my license, or I don't know what it's, a certification or whatever, to skydive without someone else. Like, so then I can just mono jump. Just myself. Okay.
All right.
We'll move on.
Yeah.
I thought you had more to say.
No, I could never. I would never. That just scares me. That stuff scares me.
Me and you are going to go together.
Nope.
All right. We're going on... I heard that. To Jurassic World 5 is filming later this fall. We're getting more Jurassic World. I'm not against this. Okay. Last one was decent.
Oh, we have very different opinions on this.
Okay. Well, let me finish mine. And
then
Scarlett Johansson is returning as the main character, and we are only confirmed for her. We don't know if anybody else is returning. It could just be her, and then she just meets up with new people as they're doing whatever with dinosaurs. Okay, now you can give me your opinion.
This series just needs to be let rest. Like, they just need to stop. I get it. It's a big series. It makes a lot of money. You want to see dinosaurs. It's the Jurassic World, the Jurassic Park franchise has been going on long enough. They need to do like a reboot, or they need to like do a different universe or a different world or something. Because at this point, it just feels like another one. Because this is technically like movie 8 of the universe. Because there's the original 3 Jurassic Parks,
right,
and then the Jurassic World 5. So this is movie 8.
Oh, I guess technically, yeah.
Yeah. And even though the plots are separated, it's still the same universe, and there's still the same like cameos and stuff. It just, I don't know. I feel like it just needs to end. Let it rest. I also felt that about Fast and Furious when I learned they were making Fast and Furious 58. You know, like, like just let the movie, let the series rest.
They're only making one more. And it is the last one. They have confirmed that it's the last one.
Until it makes
so one more.
You know, well, it makes almost $1 billion. Like, well, we can make one more.
Well, maybe they'll make like, well, they are making another spin-off of Hobbs and Shaw. But Hobbs and Shaw was so much fun. I loved that movie. But yeah, I mean, Jurassic World's the premium for dinosaur movies, and like you said, they make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Jurassic 4, what was that? Rebirth, made almost $1 billion. I think it got close. It was like 900 million.
Despite the crap reviews.
Despite crap reviews, people still went and saw it because it's dinosaurs. You just can't deny the dinosaurs. And when you have dinosaurs in it, and I think they're learning, because Rebirth, if I remember correctly, I went and watched it, there was a lot more focused on the dinosaurs other than the people, and it definitely tried to center more on the horror aspect and scary stuff, which was really fun and interesting and different from the last one.
Yeah, it kind of leaned more into like how the first movie, the first Jurassic Park was.
Yeah.
Leaning more into seeing the dinosaurs and everything. It's like, you know, the opening scene being the brontosauruses.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think you're right though. They need to do something different. I think Rebirth was their kind of reboot.
Yeah. An attempt at least.
And so an attempt, yes, that's a good way to say it. And so I'm interested to see what they do next. Especially with ScarJo and whatever her character is going to do. So we shall see. In other news, a Metal Gear Solid movie is now confirmed and is in the works at Sony.
Yeah. There are a couple of video game movies coming out, which we also have kind of listed here. Couple. Jeez, I didn't realize there's so many.
A couple. Yep.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid's never really had a movie.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, this will be a first for the series, and I hope it's good.
I did too. I'm interested in what Sony does, because Sony can make really good movies, or they can make really crap adaptations, like Uncharted.
Yep. I mean, Uncharted wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great, and it wasn't what people were hoping. No. So I'm wondering if Sony will just listen and either do a story that one of the games already did, just in a movie form, or like use the character in a completely different story, but include elements from the game, like Fallout, like what Fallout is doing. It's not directly a story from the earlier games, but it's in the same universe, making its own story within the universe, and has tie-ins.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and do another Snake. Like, what would it be like Gaseous Snake or something, like, right? Like a new Snake to lead this one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do it because I think either could work if done properly, just because the Metal Gear Solid franchise kind of allows for it.
Mm-hmm.
Though they are pretty convoluted. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
I'm optimistic.
The rumors really only has one action star centered around who's going to play Snake.
Oh.
Do we have a guess?
I
know who it is.
Who's that guy that led the Meg?
Jason Statham?
Yeah, is it Statham?
Oh, he would be great. No, it's not him.
I don't think he would be great, but I know he's very
Oh,
popular.
I don't know, but he'd be just like, I mean, he's bald. Like, grow out his beard a little more black, and, it's Statham.
The love in your eyes when you said that.
I love Statham. We're going to do one of his movies here soon, eventually.
So not Statham?
Nope, not Statham. It's not Statham.
Who is it then? There's so many.
It is Reacher himself, Alan Richardson.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He looks the part.
That's better than Statham.
It's better than Statham.
Yeah.
He looks the part. He has the build, really.
Oh, 100%. He has the range.
And
he already kind of played Reacher a little bit like Snake. A little bit.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there are definitely some scenes in Reacher that are like, he's sneaking around and sneak killing a bunch of people.
But what made the Metal Gear Solid movie or game so good is that they also didn't mind being a little bit corny and a little bit out there. And so, as someone who watches, who's watched the Reacher and everything, can he do that kind of corny, comedic, out there stuff that the Metal Gear Solid games kind of do every now and then?
My answer.
Yes.
Blue State Mountain.
Don't know what that means.
Look up a clip, Alan Richardson, Blue State Mountain. Just watch a clip, and that will answer your question. We'll get an update next week about
about my opinion on Jason.
What Quinn's Alan Richardson on his quirkiness. We're gonna move on.
Moving out.
We got our first looks at the Spider-Man. Here, I'll drop it for you. Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Poster. We got 2. And I gotta say,
they're looking pretty good.
they look pretty sweet. Hang on, I'm gonna drop them to Quinn right now so he can also see what I'm talking about. So, yes, we got our first look at the posters. We got 2 posters. One of them is Spider-Man's mask with MJ in one of the lenses and a very mysterious tall tower in the back. Now, CinemaCon is going on right now, and there were some early footage released to people who are watching, and it was a scene at the party that we see in the trailer, and it sounds great. And the way that Peter is walking around, crashing the party and running into Ned, and Ned trying to figure out who Spider-Man is. If you remember in the trailer, they had a board of Spider-Man pictures and news articles in the back. So Ned is trying to figure it out. It sounds like he made an app called Spider Tracker or whatever, and that surprises Peter when he tells, "Oh, I've been tracking Spider-Man," and Peter's like, "You made Spider Tracker?" And so Ned's like, "Yeah, you've heard of it?" And then Peter's like, "I'm through a friend and stuff," but it's super awkward and just like heartbreaking.
It's so heartbreaking. Like they're the closest friends ever, and they just don't know each other anymore.
Yeah,
or
and
Ned
so
doesn't know Peter anymore. Specified.
It's just the people who are watching who gave a description of the scene, it just sounds terrible, and like it just sounds like it just hurts. Like this movie is going to hurt every Spider-Man fan that watches it.
It's it's what people want. They want they want depressed Peter.
We do. We want it. I'm not gonna deny it. But I bring up the big tower in the background.
Yeah,
because that's not a tower on the skyline of New York. People have analyzed it and said that this is a new tower. And so some people are saying, is this finally Oscorp? Because there are rumors of Joe Keery from Stranger Things, Steve, coming into the MCU to play Harry Osborn.
He would be a good Harry.
I mean, this is the time to introduce Harry and maybe form
100%.
a relationship with Peter when Peter's not really friends with anybody.
No, he's got no one.
He can't really go back to being friends with Ned because he made the sacrifice and, he's trying to, protect them and stuff.
What I was also thinking, now this might be totally agonistic to Daredevil Reborn. Rebirth?
Born Again.
Born Again. I was on the right track.
You're almost right. You're good.
Season 1, Season 2, but my thought was also that could be Fisk's tower. Though I don't know if that is, like I said, agonistic or against what previously established in Born Again. I don't know if... Because I haven't watched them yet.
We don't know how Season 2 of Born Again ends yet, so...
No. I don't even know how Season 1 ends, so...
Yeah, that's true. I don't even know how Season 1 ends. We're getting there, audience. We're getting there. We want to make sure we have all of our Daredevil lore, Defenders lore before we start watching Born Again. And eventually we will.
I recently finished Defenders, so...
Good.
And
yeah,
3.
and I recently just finished, Jessica Jones Season 2 and Punisher Season 2. So, we're getting there.
Yep.
We're getting there. But, again, I wanted to bring up that tower because we're finally going to get one of Spider-Man big corporations into the Spider-Man
into the Marvel Universe
world and stuff.
Yeah, because we've never seen Oscorp, Harry.
Nope.
The only time we've seen is in No Way Home when Green Goblin came over, and I wonder how Peter will react to that. Because even though it's not Osborn, it'll still be Osborn. So I wonder if Peter will have a violent reaction to the man who killed Aunt May, even though he wasn't the one that killed Aunt May.
Right. No, that could be... They could be introducing the character, and then that could be a really big conflict for, another movie.
Yeah, after
later
the movie
on.
after Brand New Day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They could be building up to that. Building with, maybe, there's no more, oh my gosh, what's the main guy, Osborn, the dad, what's his name?
That's why I've just been calling him Osborn, because I forgot.
Oh my gosh. I know his son is Harry. Norman
Osborn.
My gosh, I'm dumb.
We are...
Green Goblin. Norman Osborn.
Yep.
Maybe there's no Norman Osborn, and there's only a Harry Osborn, and that he's trying to build something to make his dad proud or something. You could totally make a whole new character
or maybe
of Harry.
Yeah, maybe Norman's dead, so Harry's taking over the legacy or something.
Yeah. Or his dad was trying to build up but then died mysteriously, and so Harry is I'm gonna finish it and then make Oscorp and stuff. And then, maybe it's classic Peter. He takes an interest in the science and he starts hanging out with Harry, and then they become friends.
It's working at Oscorp or something.
Yeah. That's totally Spider-Man, though, to build up a friendship and then just destroy it. And, make it a main villain for a further movie further down the line with Hobgoblin.
At this point, it's just let the man rest.
Oh, no. Peter Parker is just broken. I remember reading a panel of, an X-Men and Spider-Man crossover or whatever, and Emma Frost reads his mind or something, and she physically reacts to how broken and how much hurt Peter has gone through, and she's even flabbergasted on how he's still a hero and how he still has good in him.
He is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
It's so true. We love our Spider-Man. We love our Spider-Man.
Despite
All right,
everything
we
going
got.
on, he is still one of the strongest and one of the best.
Yep. The other poster was just a really cool shot of Spider-Man jumping down to fight the hand ninjas that we see in the trailer. Yeah. You can't hide. We know you, Sony. You're hiding something in that trailer. That shot. that's an awkward negative space. We know you.
Yeah.
You can't show us this poster. We know.
So I've seen the conspiracy theory going around that it is Garfield or Maguire. That's insane.
That's dumb.
I don't believe that at all.
Those people are lunatics.
It's probably Matt or Frank,
or Hulk,
both. or Hulk. Could be a Hulk.
Could
moment.
be Hulk.
Could be a Hulk remembers moment.
And they just don't want to show Hulk yet because maybe they're still working on him, processing, rendering and stuff, because that can take a long time. And you want to get Hulk done right, and you want to make him look, actually real and scary, like the Red Hulk. The Red Hulk looked great in Captain America. Story was iffy, but the Red Hulk, he looked great.
And
he looked good.
And you know how people dog on trailers when they have unfinished SFX and stuff. So
right.
It makes sense for them to want to kind of, if it is the Hulk, to kind of hide them until they have him good.
Yeah. So let's move on. I just bring this up because we're in the Spider-Man area. Hang on. Images were released also yesterday at CinemaCon for the Beyond the Spider-Verse movie, and I gotta say they look amazing.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for this movie. And then we also got a official synopsis of what the movie, what they put underneath the title to get people in. And so I was going to read that.
Yeah.
So, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, haunted by Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society, or hunted by Miguel O'Hara's Spider Society and betrayed by his friends, Miles finds himself in the darkest corners of the Spider-Verse in search of a way home, knowing that his family has been not only fractured, but endangered by his calling. It's a race against the clock for Miles to travel across the wildest reaches of time and space to fight for and reunite everything he holds most dear. Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Just looking up the images that they posted.
Mm-hmm.
And God, they look so good.
Yeah, you got Spider-Punk saying, gonna save your dad. You got, it looks like a flashback of Miles and his dad.
Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, I hope that's there's two flashbacks. So there's that one of Aaron and
Jeff.
And Jeff.
I'm completely guessing, that that's part of the other universe's Miles.
Yeah. My thought, I've seen this theory online, which I don't agree with, is that we get these two flashbacks because Jeff is going to die. And so these are before he dies, these are some gut-wrenching flashbacks. I don't agree with it. Like you said, the one with Aaron and Jeff seems like just a young Miles flashback of the Prowler Miles.
Right, yeah. So, super cool, super excited for those.
Super stylized.
Oh, they look amazing. Yeah, you could make those. I would put that as a poster.
Oh, maybe Miles hanging off the train, or Miles and Gwen talking on top of was that a ship or an oil rig?
Oh yeah, the images from last year and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
those were also stylized and beautiful. I love it. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. We got some other stuff.
Yes.
A Bloodborne movie is in the works with
Yes.
Jacksepticeye producing. You probably saw this on YouTube.
I did. Yep.
Jacksepticeye talked about it. I didn't watch his video about it, but
No, yeah.
I did see this, and I was like, oh, okay. And it's animated.
Right.
It's an animated movie.
I saw that and I was really pleased because I'm a little tired of the live action
Adaptations. yeah.
adaptations. Like, thank God, give me an animated movie. Yeah, and I know Sean, whatever you want to call him, is definitely more of a voice actor than a live action actor compared to like Mark when he did Iron Lung. So I also just
Right.
think it fits his own acting expertise better, compared to if they did a live movie.
Right. It's also note that we don't know if he's in actually in the movie. We know that he's producing it.
Yeah.
So he
I-
could not even be in the movie.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't. I don't know if he'd be like the main character, but I could definitely see him being like a side character or like a duotagonist or something, or like a, yeah.
I can see that. So yes, another video game adaptation. Another video game.
adaptation.
The live action Zelda movie has finished filming. They were filming over in Ireland. Getting those beautiful hills and mountain valleys
Yep.
like you see in Zelda, so well done. A lot of it was on set filming. There wasn't a ton of studio stuff. I'm assuming for just the castle scenes they built a studio.
Oh
and
yeah.
did that
maybe like
stuff.
dungeons. Like if they're gonna like adapt dungeons, that's definitely studio
Yeah.
stuff.
We don't know a lot about this movie.
No,
we know
they've kept it hush hush.
it's a very hush hush movie. So I really tried to find anything on it, set photos. Like I couldn't find anything.
No.
No costumes, no like leaked photos of it.
I mean,
we
there's
know
that
who.
one like photo of the two actors was that a couple years ago. That was about
Couple
it.
years. Yeah, they've been filming this for a while. I mean, we know who our main characters are.
Yeah.
We know who plays them, but that's about it.
So
So
the Legend of Zelda is, I think, one of my favorite game series of all time, and so I'm worried that this is going to be bad, but we will wait and see.
we will wait and see. But yeah, so I'm not really in. I don't really know a lot about the Legend of Zelda lore and stuff, and I've played one game. I played Breath of the Wild on our Switch, and that was about it. But even then, I didn't even finish that game.
I can
Uh,
if we get closer to a live action Zelda movie, we can do an episode where I just break down the lore because I know
there
it.
we go. When the trailer comes out, you will hear Quinn break it down
Yes.
fully. Moving on, Resident Evil was really popular a couple weeks ago.
But wait,
And
there's
I
another video game movie.
Another video game. I totally forgot about this, but Zach Krieger's making a Resident Evil movie, and the title and logo was released to officially on how it looks and stuff, and it looks good. It looks like what you would see as a Resident Evil game. He's not trying to do something different, nothing really stylized. It's just big and bold.
He's not, like Paul Anderson trying to just be a general asshole or doesn't know what they're doing. Like,
Yeah, I think he knows. Like I said before, I think I've mentioned this before, but there's not a lot about this movie. I'm always trying to look at what exactly is happening with that. He says something about making it a lot more horror and
Good.
trying to get it to its, original stuff. Let's see. I had a note here about the synopsis.
with how successful Resident Evil 7, 8, and how popular Grace's sections are in Resident Evil 9, I'm not surprised that they want to lean more towards the horror, because those sections were definitely, in those games, were definitely a lot more horror than previous games where they're zombie action games. So I'm not surprised that they want to lean more towards the horror, because it was very popular. And
Right.
I think if done properly, a mix of horror and action, I think it could be really, really good.
Okay, I have some reports from. I'm pretty sure this is fairly new because this just happened at CinemaCon, which is happening this week. So yesterday, some footage was shown at the event. It probably will not be making its way online, but this movie is slated to release this year, September 18th.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, here it is.
December
Austin
18th?
Abrams. Oh, what were you say?
Oh, December 18th?
December 18th this year.
Oh, so I'm reading September 18th.
Our September 18th this year.
Yes. I was hearing December.
Oh,
was like-
no, September.
I was like, December.
September, sorry.
I was like, December 18th? That's the same day as.
No, he wouldn't dare do that.
No.
September 18th.
Okay.
Start off, a new school year. Austin Abrams from Weapons plays Brian, a medical courier who unwittingly finds himself in a nonstop race for survival as one fateful, horrifying night collapses around him in chaos. Zach Krieger told CinemaCon attendees tonight that his Resident Evil is a big, scary ride, one that follows Brian on his hellish descent through a snowy, monster-filled landscape. Krieger teases that we will be locked in with a protagonist on a foot journey through a world hell-bent on destroying them. The film has been compared to George Miller's Fury Road. Krieger has made one thing clear: I'm definitely not trying to be completely obedient to the lore of the games. I'm trying to tell a story that just feels authentic to the experience you get when you play the games. We expect the Resident Evil trailer very soon.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Resident Evil has very convoluted lore, and Resident Evil 9 has felt like it was trying to clean the slate, probably for things like this, or for future games to be like, okay, let's just pick up from a new direction. So it's too early to say whether it be good or not, obviously, without trailers, without full synopsises of like the actual,
Right.
But I am hopefully optimistic, especially since, like I said, there is no Anderson trying to force his hot wife into the lead role or whatever, like the previous Resident Evil movies. If you cannot tell, I do not like Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
He ruins so many good video game adaptations because, God, I have so much opinions on him. Paul Anderson's an asshole. I hate him.
Noted. Paul Anderson, if you're watching.
Fight me.
You know where I live.
You know where I
Fight
am.
me.
Fight. And don't be a coward and put your wife in front of it like you normally do.
Okay. Last little bit of news. Adria Arjuna. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I'm so sorry. I will figure out how to pronounce your name correctly. Has been casted in Superman Man of Tomorrow with no official confirmation on who she is playing. The two characters that are rumored for her to play is Wonder Woman or Maxima.
I could see Wonder Woman trying to like separate from Gal Gadot. But I could also see Maxima because we haven't really seen a lot of her. So this will be a continuation of James Gunn's wanting to bring in less well-known heroes and villains. Yeah, so I could see either.
I would love for her to be Wonder Woman. I think she is perfect. I really think she looks great.
Oh,
but
she'd
I
make a
also
perfect Wonder Woman.
she'd make a perfect one. But I think there is a better actress for Wonder Woman, and I will die on this hill if they don't make her, but I want Eliza Gonzalez to play Wonder Woman. She's tall. She looks the part. I mean, any fan art has shown her she looks awesome, and she has a wide range. She is way better than Gal Gadot.
I was gonna say, is she better than Gal?
Oh, way better. Oh my gosh, way better. She has the looks. I mean, she'll pull off any costume that James puts her in for Wonder Woman. So I would love for Adria to play Maxima. I think she would be great. All they have to do is, dye her hair a little red or give her a wig or something. And I think she'd be great. And she has great range. I love Adria, and she's been everywhere. She's a rising star. She was in Andor. That's where I fell in love with her, and she's great. And so I'm excited that she's in this movie, and I'm also excited to not know what she's playing yet, because it's really a toss-up between those two characters. And so everybody who's saying that she's playing Wonder Woman, or anybody who's saying that she's playing Maxima, you're all wrong. James Gunn has not announced officially what she's doing.
Okay. I was a little confused because whenever I looked it up, everyone is saying that she's playing Maxima. It's confirmed she's playing Maxima over Wonder Woman.
It's a lot more speculated now, but it is not confirmed.
Okay.
Let me be clear. I was checking with that this morning when I was writing my notes, because I was like, is this confirmed? This has not been confirmed. There was no announcement yesterday at CinemaCon. It's just really big rumored to be playing Maxima. But Peter Safran or James Gunn has not said who she's playing. She hasn't said who she's playing. We only know that she has been casted.
Got it. Okay.
So that is the only official part of that.
So,
but yeah, I'm
nice.
excited. She's cool. She's hot. She's sexy.
All right, fair enough. I can't wait.
I am a man.
I just can't wait for James Gunn's universe to continue.
I'm so excited for it to get actually start off and be a contender for Marvel.
Oh, 100%.
Everybody's like, Marvel or DC, you have to pick one. It's like, why can't we just have both?
Right?
I would love a year of movies where I can go and watch Avengers fighting X-Men, Avengers versus X-Men, and then go and watch Justice League fighting
weird aliens or whatever.
Weird aliens or the big bad Darkseid or fighting Darkseid, War Planet. Why can't I have both of those movies in the same year?
Yeah. What is that? It's that meme. I don't know if you know, but it's holy crap, 2 cakes, right? It's
Yes. Yes, I do know that.
DC's coming in. DC's coming in oh crap, Marvel has so much content now. How can we ever compete? Holy crap, 2 cakes. Holy crap, 2 studios are making great movies. Bang, right?
Yeah. So I'm excited for the DC universe to fully kick off and have a whole bunch of movies and be a real contender. I really think that both DC and Marvel will benefit off of each other if DC gets up to the Marvel level.
Oh, it's the classic, competition creates growth model that you see everywhere.
Which is why I think it was correct, and a lot of people were saying, why did Kevin Feige do this? Kevin Feige letting go James Gunn to go create DC Studios because Kevin Feige was like, I know James Gunn, he's going to create an awesome DC universe. Yeah. He makes something good, we'll make something better, they'll make something better, then we'll make something better, and it's just going to keep going back and forth, and I think Kevin Feige knows that, and he's like, we're just going to build off each other, and we're going to both, come out winners out of this. There's going to be no losers.
No. Again, holy crap, 2 cakes. At the end of the day, it's all about, the fans. And the fans want both.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fans want both. All right. That is it for the nerdy news.
Yes.
Let's take a break. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to get into today's Geek Dive and the start of a new series I'm calling Doomscrolling. We will get into that later, but we'll be right back with you.
I understand that reference. Be back.
We are back. We're back.
We're back.
We took a quick break. Cameras, getting hot. Had to change battery and all that fun jazz. We're humans. But
he's an expensive
today, today, we're going to be talking about a movie. Let me start over. Editor, just blow everything up. Blow everything up. Today's Geek Dive, because this is a Geek Dive, because we've coined that phrase.
100%. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
Bread.
Oh, bread.
Oh. I saw a big baguette.
Thank you. You want to say hi?
Hi,
It's Lily, everybody.
I have bread.
It's a good
I
looking
have
bread.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you. I got bread.
That's really good looking bread. Can I have a piece?
Yep, you can have a piece. Yep, there you go.
Yep, got it.
Oh my gosh, you took a bite out of it.
Sorry, man. I was really hungry.
Okay.
All right, continue what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna blow everything up again. Geek Dive. We're getting into a movie that started a universe that is still going out today and will all come crashing down and destroy everything in December. I am calling this series Doomscrolling. If you get it, you get it. If you don't deserve to be here.
Okay, don't gatekeep an audience.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Here.
Just because you can watch IMAX and they can't.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm gonna zoom in on my eyes. I'm sorry. You could trust me. Okay. Doomscrolling. Doomscrolling. We are starting with the movie that started this adventure to Doomsday with Iron Man, coming out in 2009.
2008.
8.
8.
Hulk was 9. Sorry. 2008, starring Robert Downey Jr., directed by Jon Favreau. It is one of my favorite movies of all time, for sure, because
It is incredible. Go ahead.
how can you go wrong with Iron Man?
It's an incredible start to the franchise, the series. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. Directed by Jon Favreau, written by Mark Fergus, Huck Otsby, and Art Makram. You have Robert Downey Jr., who's just getting restarted in his career and basically his life after getting out of prison. Gwyneth Paltrow, Terrence Howard as the first roadie. Got Jeff Bridges, being Obadiah Stane. Love that guy. Got Clark Gregg showing up as Coulson. Love that man. And then you have your classics with Jon Favreau actually showing up as Hogan. You got
As Happy Hogan. Yep.
Paul Bettany as Jarvis. You got a whole bunch of rising stars that were in this movie.
And people who retain these roles as long as those characters are in the MCU.
Yes, and still retain these roles in the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Bettany is still Vision. I mean, he was Jarvis, then made Division, but he's still doing it. He's
and Jon
still there.
Favreau, he was still happy even all the way.
He's still happy
here in Wolverine, Deadpool, and Wolverine.
Yeah, he's still there. It's crazy. So this is definitely a movie for the history books. It made so many ways. Like we said, it started at MCU. It's just an all-around great action superhero movie.
Yeah.
So, We're gonna go into it. We're gonna have our next segment, one of Quinn's favorites.
Quinn tries his freaking best. Let's do it.
Let's go. The editor will be working on a fun title card eventually for that, because that deserves its own title card. Title card. He's just gonna put title card.
Hell
He's just gonna put title card there.
Put placement card.
What's the name of like the letters that you like? It gives you an example of for like fonts and stuff.
Like Lorem Simpsons.
Lorem Sin or something like. Huh.
You know what to do, editor.
We love you, editor. So let's get into it. Quinn,
Yes.
what happens in Iron Man?
In Iron Man, we are introduced to Tony Stark, the owner, the CEO of Stark Industries, having taken over from his father, making weapons for the military. We get a good demonstration of his character early on when he flirts with a
Reporter.
A reporter, thank you. But after that night with the reporter, he goes to Afghanistan, where he releases his new missile with Rhodey by his side.
The Jericho.
The Jericho missile. As he is heading back to the plane to head back to the United States, a terrorist group, the Ten Rings, blows up his convoy and almost kills Stark. However, the Ten Rings capture Stark, and the scientist Jensen, a doctor and fellow captor, gives Tony Stark an electromagnet into his chest, which keeps the shrapnel away from his heart. The Ten Ring leaders wants the Tony Stark to build a Jericho missile. Tony Stark says, "Screw that," and builds the prototype Iron Man suit.
Mark 1.
Mark 1, with the use of a arc reactor built in a cave with scraps.
David Scraps with Jensen.
Who sacrificed himself so that Stark may leave. When Stark returns back to the United States after being picked up by Rhodes, by Rhodey,
Yep.
Stark ceases the weapons production because he saw that the Ten Rings were using Stark weapons to kill people. Obadiah Stane, the co-founder or co-owner of Stark Industries, was like, "Hey, that's kind of mean. Don't do that. We make money. We like money.
We make money, please."
Money. Tony Stark makes a new, more powerful arc reactor using proper materials, and doing so, makes the Mark II Iron Man suit. Oh, Mark III.
He makes both Mark II and 3.
Mark II and 3. 3 is the one we see mostly in the movie. That's the one that he goes and uses to go to Afghanistan to absolutely.
3 is the colorful red one.
Yep, it's the original red and gold. And he takes that to Afghanistan to absolutely annihilate terrorists because he's all pissy that his weapons are being used by them. And he saves people. Ten Rings is like, "Hey, we don't like him doing this," and so they meet up with Obadiah Stane, who was selling arms to the Red Ring or the Ten Rings, and they're like, "Hey, replace Stark so that you can keep giving us money," and they almost do, but Tony gets the because Obadiah takes the arc reactor off Tony's chest, but Tony takes the prototype arc reactor, puts it back in him. And they, after some time, get into a fight with Obadiah in a new Iron Man suit that's really, really crappy because no one can match Tony Stark's intelligence.
It's just big and bulky.
It's just big and bulky. It doesn't have any sort of way of defending against the cold of outer space or anything. And so, after a fight breaks out, Obadiah Stane dies after being pushed into explosion because the large arc reactor exploded. At a press conference the following day, Tony is like, "Should I reveal I'm Iron Man? Phil is like, hey, you shouldn't do that. We have ways of covering this up. And Tony Stark said, screw that. I'm Iron Man. And that's where the first movie ends, with a post-credit scene, which started here and is oh so wonderful. And it's wonderful. the post-credit scene that starts the Avengers as Nick Fury invites Tony to the Avengers Initiative.
I would argue that it actually started like the post-credit scene trend, really, for all movies.
Which I have my opinions on, and we might get to that later.
Yeah,
that is Iron Man 1, the start of the universe.
The start of the universe, man. Yeah, that was actually a really good breakdown. I just wanted to go over some.
Yeah, I feel like I missed a couple of things.
You were pretty good. You didn't miss a lot. You missed that Tony and Pepper start building chemistry together, and that then they have the dance at that party, and then they almost kiss, and then Pepper actually is the one that backs out. You have to. It's really important, because I was just rewatching this, that Tony doesn't go in for the kiss. Like, he doesn't initiate it. That he wants her to come to him, because he knows that he's Tony, and that like he's a playboy, and he has, he's done this before with many girls, but like this is different because this is someone that he actually admires and respects, and so he lets her come to him, which is super weird, because I don't think I ever noticed that until I was rewatching it the other day. And he was like standing still, and then you could kind of see him like backing up just a little as Pepper is going in, and then like he stops, and then she gets closer, and then she stops, and then asks for the martini, and then Tony leaves her up there at the party and goes to fight in the Eastern world. But other than that, you were pretty spot on. Some things that aren't really said, they say it, but they like tease it. The name of Obadiah, like his super evil name, like every evil mastermind has like the name, their superhero name.
Their superhero name.
It's mentioned once that his name is the Ironmonger. That's what his character's name. Obadiah Stane becomes the Ironmonger in that giant suit. No, you're fine. Like I said, it's mentioned once, but like as a tease, and so you wouldn't know unless you like were really looking for it. But just wanted to chime in and give the reviews. IMDb has it at a 7.9.
Yeah.
And Letterboxd has it at a 3.8.
Which is actually really high for Letterboxd.
Which is really high for a Letterboxd, especially for a superhero movie. Letterboxd hates superhero movies. So, it's very high.
It is incredibly popular for Tomato Meter in both, or in Rotten Tomatoes, both tomato and popcorn.
I mean, it's Iron Man. I don't understand.
Yeah. It was a start.
Quinn, why don't you give your overtake on this?
Yeah.
On Iron Man, and then I'll give some of the fun
behind the scenes. Yeah. I really like Iron Man. He's not my favorite Avengers. He's not my favorite superhero. This isn't even my favorite introductory film. We'll get to my favorite introductory film later. But Robert Downey Jr. has such a charisma and such a Tony Stark is one of those people you want to punch in the face, but then get a drink with him afterwards, because he just is going to be so smart. You're going to basically just like leech knowledge off of him. Tony Stark plays the playboy douchebag smart person so well. It makes sense that he was able to. He was Iron Man. He was able to hold on to this role for so long. The Mark III suit, it looks incredible. The suit up scene where the rivets are being like twisted and everything, like it's probably one of my favorite suit up scenes of anything. Like everyone points to the suitcase scene in Iron Man 2. I'm like, that's fine, but nothing can beat the original of just everything being screwed in and everything getting fitted into place. Yeah, I think this movie, it makes sense this movie did so well and started everything, because it also has those kind of hints of a grander universe, like with Nick Fury coming in at the end about the Avengers Initiative, and Phil Coulson being more than just some secret, government lackey. He's smart enough to know what's going on.
Right.
Sorry. Water break.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. This is it's an incredible film. I love it.
It was great. I like I said, this is the movie that started it all. This is definitely on my movies I always go back to rewatch and stuff. Like whenever I'm like, I don't know what to watch. It's like, yes, I do. I know. I just don't want to admit it because I want to watch something different and not rewatch it again.
But
it's
sometimes you just
also
gotta rewatch it again.
Sometimes you just gotta rewatch it again. It's also good to note that the music
Yes.
is very important to Iron Man.
God,
AC/DC,
the soundtrack.
they made the full soundtrack. They were helped there. They were right there to help with the score. They made like an entire album based off Iron Man. And I mean, when you think AC/DC, you immediately think Iron Man. Like, that's a connection right there. Like, you don't even like.
And they
have to really think about it.
No, and they tease and they go back to that kind of connection so often. Like, I'm thinking of the scene in Far From Home as well, where Peter's on the jet with Happy making the new suit, and Happy turns on AC/DC.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's Iron Man. That's what they did, and so I love it. And AC/DC definitely like mooched off Iron Man and like got record sales that year. Like I said before, they made like a whole album based off Iron Man, and there's a song Iron Man by AC/DC that it's one of their best songs. So very important, and it's also like the character Tony's favorite like genre is rock.
Yeah, which is so whenever
it's very character. When he listens to music in the scenes, it's always to rock music. So super good.
It's specifically heavy metal, which is
specifically
like on the nose like point.
Yeah. So let's get into my area of expertise.
Yeah, talk about all that behind the scenes.
That behind the scenes fun facts, all that fun jazz that you probably don't know, or maybe you do. The script was not finished when they started filming this. They had the skeletons, they had the bones, they had like the big like story moments, like what to leave in, what they couldn't take out, and how to end it. But a lot of the characters' dialogues weren't actually written, and they went into production without a full script. And so a lot of the scenes were improvised. They were encouraged to really dig into their characters and respond how their characters were in the scene, which made this movie a lot different from the previous superhero movies that had come out in the decade before. And it's what made this movie feel a lot more real and grounded, and what brought a lot of people going, oh, this is actually a really compelling character. This Iron Man, this B-tier superhero. Like, a lot of people didn't really realize who Iron Man was. This movie put Iron Man on the spot and made sure people knew exactly who Iron Man was.
Yeah. Which is such a surprising thing to me, because, like, about the script specifically, because, like, it's such a tight script. Like, it feels such... Like, there's no holes, there's nothing that feels out of character. Everything just feels so tight and connected. So,
yeah,
hearing that it wasn't even fully made when they started filming surprised me.
Yeah, it almost... It makes you think, like, is this more, like... Did the director have anything to do with this? Like, the way Jon Favreau directs his movie and, like, went into it without a script, is that why it felt, like it was a full script? Like, they went into it and they knew exactly what they were doing? Or was it the actors? Was it RDJ and Gwyneth Paltrow and, like, they just brought out the characters, and that's what made the movie so good. Because I mean, you get some movies nowadays that go into without a script and they come out terrible, and you're like, yeah, that's what you get for not having a script. And so I think people forget that Iron Man was like one of the biggest like gambles of movie history, because they didn't have a full-on script, but they needed to start production.
Yeah, they didn't have a full script. They hired a drug addict straight out of prison. Like, you know, this is Jon Favreau's first like directing jobs.
This is his first like big movie.
Like, this was such a gamble of a movie.
Yeah. And I think because this is Doom Scrolling, our series, that it was important to note that they didn't have a full script going into it. The same with Doomsday. Now, it is different. Times have changed, you know, from Iron Man 2008 to Doomsday, when it actually is really important and we have a ton of characters. But I think they didn't have a full script yet, is because they're trying to invoke that Iron Man energy, trying to make this movie about otherworldly heroes as grounded as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And you also have to remember that a lot of these characters are characters that have been established. The actors who play them know their characters pretty well because they've been in movies or shows with them. And so they really should be able to ground their characters in the story. And I also think that it has to do with RDJ coming back as Doom, and they want to make sure that RDJ, is as grounded as they could possibly make it, because he is the biggest gamble in this movie right now, just like Iron Man.
Yeah, it goes full circle of like gambles.
It's full circle. We're at full circle moment, which is so funny. When I was writing the script out, and I was like, this is kind of starting to sound like Doomsday, like the early BTS stuff about like it not being finished, you know, and RDJ just coming in and riffing and being improvised. A lot of the scenes with actors interrupting them mid-scene with a line that isn't in the script, and the actors just have to keep rolling and roll with it.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is sounding a lot like Doomsday. Oh.
I wonder if this is a you know, saying something about how Doomsday will be going forward.
I don't know. We will see. We're gonna keep going with some other BTS. This is probably widely known because you've seen some behind the scenes stuff, but a lot of the suit was practical. They made a whole upper half torso like really, you know, big. It was big and bulky, and it slowed down production a lot, and they had to improvise and, you know, had to keep pushing, but it slowed them down, and they had to extend their filming time because of how slow it costed them. But it paid off. I mean, you have to remember this movie was made in 2009. Like, really,
it wasn't made in 2009. It was made in 2007, released in 2008.
I guess, yeah, 2007, released in 2008. Sorry, I keep thinking 2009. But, like, that's almost, how many years ago was that? Like,
almost 2 decades.
Almost 2 decades, yeah.
Like
almost
18,
2
19
decades.
Years.
Almost 2 decades ago, and they were able to make this suit look even better than some movies that were released like a year ago or this year. Like, it looks incredible, and the attention to detail, if you really look at it, some of the metal has like almost visible scratches. The clear thing that goes over his chest plate, and it like
the mesh.
It's clear. Yeah, but that screen is scratched and stuff, and it just feels real. And so that's what makes one of these movies just feel timeless. Like, you watch it at any time and you're like, this is, besides them pulling out flip phones, this movie can stand the test of time. Some of the sound effects were made by kitchen utensils and car parts together, because they wanted a lot of the sound effects to sound real. They wanted it to sound like familiar,
mechanical.
But mechanical. And I would argue that the sound effects is one of the most important parts of this movie, just him getting suited up. Like, you're watching something, you're not hearing music, you're just hearing the suit get put on. And you're like, oh. You know something epic is going to happen after that.
Tony Stark is done. He means business at this point.
He means business. And especially when he's, like, getting suited up and he's just like...
scowling, looking down the entire time.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, crap. We got to stand out of this guy's way.
He's about to wreck some terrorists up. Like, good God.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I have some other stuff. We already talked about how this was just a huge risk for Marvel. Marvel didn't really have anything. They had helped produce and make the Spider-Man movies with Sony. They had sold the rights to X-Men and Daredevil and Elektra and all those other smaller time movies that came out before. But really, besides the first X-Men and Spider-Man movies, Marvel wasn't really known for their superhero movies. So for them to come out of the shadows and make a full-on movie by themselves with Paramount was probably one of the biggest scandals that they have done yet. And it paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, look at where we're at now with RDJ coming back as Doom for some specific reason. There's a reason they brought him back for Doom.
Like
there's a reason.
This isn't just a nostalgia thing. There's something going on.
They have a plan. The Russo brothers, Kevin Feige, have a plan for Doom.
They're smart enough to know, like, they have to do this, like you mentioned earlier, is a gamble, and that needs to pay off well.
Yeah. So that is totally engineered, and they know what they're doing. But so Marvel, took big risks with a B tier character like Iron Man. Many people had no idea who he was, what this character was. When this movie came out, everybody knew what Iron Man was. And RDJ pretty much became Iron Man. If you look at any previous comics before Iron Man came out, Iron Man was, he was stylish. He was more of the billionaire, stylish guy. He wasn't so much of the playboy. He was, cocky and stuff before the suit, but he was, I don't want to say like nice, but he wasn't as bad as RDJ then portrayed him as.
And there's definitely a lot of similarities, but they're still different enough to be like, it's like they, at this point, RDJ changed how Iron Man is perceived.
And completely changed the Iron Man character, and now everybody agrees that Iron Man should be like what RDJ played him as, which I think is just crazy, and how one actor can have that such influence on a character that had been established since like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
One movie, and the character's completely changed. Let's see. What are some other good notes to bring up that maybe you don't know? The post-credit scene, as Quinn talked about before, was extremely important, but they almost cut it. So, Samuel L. Jackson was just in the area, and they were like, hey, would you like to film this thing? Jon Favreau had known him before. He had produced some stuff he was in, and so they knew each other. And Samuel L. Jackson came in for one day of filming, and, it wasn't really on his priorities. It was like, okay, I'll show up in this Jon Favreau movie with this drug addict, and, it's like, I'm only doing one scene, it can't really hurt. So it wasn't on his radar as something that would be blown up and create him as a character of Nick Fury, bringing together the Avengers, who is still alive to this day. I think people forget that Nick Fury is still alive.
Yeah.
He's still alive in the MCU.
I don't know what his state is after, God, what is that show called? Freaking, like...
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Like, I don't know what his status is after that show, because I never watched it, but...
We will not be watching that show.
Oh,
that is the one...
Oh, we have limits. Okay.
That's the one limit, because that show is gosh awful. Like, nothing in that show makes sense. Nothing in that show makes sense. The CGI is terrible. Anyway, we'll do like some dumb recap, and that's what we'll do. Yeah, so post-credit scene almost got cut because they weren't really interested. Like, they were like, is this really going to be big? Should we include this? Or is this just going to be, like, the one-off like we talked about before? It was the gamble. And so they really struggled with, do we put this end credit scene on it? Are people even going to watch it? Are they going to care about it? Ultimately, they decided to make it. And I don't know if you know, but they filmed 2 end credit scenes. One of them with Nick Fury coming out listing off heroes of the Avengers, including Spider-Man, and
Okay.
he says something about like a frozen hero, man who crawls up walls, and I don't remember if he mentions a guy with a hammer, maybe something like that. But they ultimately left in the other one where Nick Fury walks in and talks to him about the Avengers Initiative.
I think that was a smart call because they would have ended up making promises that they couldn't keep, and also would have not made sense for the Avengers film. Because if they said guy with a hammer, that wouldn't have made sense because Thor wasn't even going to be part of the Avengers Initiative until Loki got involved with the Tesseract.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't remember what he says. I know he mentions Spider-Man and he mentions a guy frozen in ice. I don't remember.
Cap.
I'll have to rewatch it. But there's 2 extra credit scenes where Nick Fury does, and he mentions Spider-Man, and I always thought that was super ambiguous of Marvel to be like Spider-Man. Like, we want Spider-Man back.
Ambiguous.
Shut up! I heard it, and I just kept going.
Ambitious, perhaps?
Ambitious. No, it's ambiguous now.
Editor, define ambiguous.
Here's an image of ambiguous. We're just gonna do one more of my BTS, and then we're gonna do final thoughts. There was lots of, visual clues to his character, Tony's character, changing in the cave, creating the arc reactor, and it being more like a light in his heart that just sparked awake, and realizing that he needs to change some
visual storytelling stuff.
Yeah, I saw some reviewers saying something about like it's like a halo that he creates to represent his change, and that he thinks differently now, and that his weapons were built for mass destruction, and he didn't realize it until now, and that he needs to change it. And so there was lots of visual clues, and especially with Pepper bringing him the case where it says proof that Tony has a heart, with his old arc reactor coming back into play at the very end, putting that back into him. So again, Iron Man, we love the movie. That's all I have.
Joe loves visual storytelling, if you haven't already figured out.
I love visual storytelling. I think it's one of the best things that you could do in a film. While characters are super important, characters bring out the visual importance, but it's also the job of the set people, the people that are building the set, the camera guys, to make sure that they get those specific symbolisms right, and then for the set people to actually build those symbolisms in the background and position them exactly where they need to be. Which, in turn, and we'll talk about it when we get to the movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio does it like beautifully, and it's almost like a masterclass on how you visually storytell and convince people of your character. But we'll get into that later down the road.
That's still probably like a month or two out.
As we doom scroll. So final thoughts, Quinn. Give me your final thoughts, and then give me a rating.
Okay, final thoughts. It makes sense why it was the start of an era. It makes sense why it was the start of literally one of the biggest franchises currently going on in terms of movies. It makes sense why everything is the way that it is. From likable characters, your witty, smart dialogue, some incredible action scenes, incredible set pieces. Overall, this movie, I think, deserves all the praise that it gets. And so I'd rate it a 4 out of 5. Again, not my favorite of the Avengers movies, or the Avengers introductions movies, I should say, because there's a couple, but definitely deserves the praise and deserves what it gets.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Rate it, because this was the start of a universe,
Yes.
to Superman. James Gunn's Superman.
James
the start
Gunn's...
of his universe.
Got it. I think James Gunn's Superman comes out on top because just for the sake of experience, not only has the superhero genre gotten more experienced and people know what people want from superheroes, but also James Gunn's more experienced than James Favreau was. The actors were more experienced than RDJ and all of them, were. I just think based off the experience that everyone had in making and writing and everything, it just turned out to be a better film. Had Superman 2006 came out in 2008 and Iron Man 2008 come out in 2006, you'd probably have a different opinion. But as it stands, I think that the Superman is a stronger beginning to the DCU. How about yourself?
I am on the opposite because of characters. Now, while I love Superman, we've talked about this before, Superman was great. Super good, solid start to the universe. It was very James Gunn style.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what did it for me, is that it was James Gunn style. It was a Superman movie with Superman having maybe like 40% of the screen time. And Iron Man was an Iron Man movie with RDJ having just about 90% of the screen time. And what Iron Man does differently than Superman is that Iron Man, instead of building the world, and James Gunn needed to do this because he needed to prove that DC Studios was a thing.
Yeah.
But this is why I asked about comparing. Iron Man built the character that would start the universe. They teased some stuff, but they built Iron Man as one of the foundations of Avengers to be the most heart-wrenching death in Endgame later down the line. But that's because they built the universe almost off of Iron Man. They built Iron Man as the character, and then they built the universe. They didn't focus on the universe. Marvel focused on, we're making this the movie. If it's awesome, great. Then we can keep going, and then we'll make the Hulk, we'll make Thor, we'll make Captain America. But if it doesn't, this will still be a solid movie, action-packed, wartime, superhero movie. He's not super, he's just super smart, he's cocky, he's arrogant, but then he gets hit in the head with reality and realizes what's wrong with himself, and he grows as a character, and you watch that growth as a character.
Oh, yeah.
And now you could argue that the same thing happens with Superman and stuff, like, because that does happen. He grows in the movie.
He
that's
comes
one of my
terms with, like, his parents being evil.
Right,
parents.
and that's one of my favorite things in the movie is that you watch him grow throughout the movie. But I also think that Superman tried to grow too many characters at the same time. They had the Super Gang, they had Lex Luthor, they had Superman, they had Lois. Again, nothing wrong with that. James Gunn needed to do that. He needed to show people that what his DC universe is doing. He needed to blow people away. He needed to make a bunch of money. Marvel was in a different position. They were like, if this does awesome, great. If this flops, well, we're cooked.
Right.
So they just took the gamble, whereas I think James played it a lot more safe. Now, let's say James did more of like a Man of Steel kind of thing, where it was just about Superman and
More
maybe Lois. More self-contained, and then teases to other superheroes. I think that it would have done I don't know if I would say it'd be better, but I think it may have passed Iron Man in my rating.
Right. All right. I can see what you mean about.
That's my thoughts.
Like,
my thoughts.
I understand what you mean by like Superman taking only 40% of the screen time and how that can be a little frustrating because like you're watching a Superman film, not a Justice Gang film.
Right.
Yeah. I get that. But yeah. I don't know. I have no counter to it. It's a good point. It's a good point.
Well, we both made good points, and we both will stand with our film. But this is why we have two different hosts, and we have two different opinions. You know.
Yeah.
And you guys have different opinions as well. So, I give it a 4 out of 5.
What are your opinions?
What are your opinions? Editor, blow us up. Let's end it.
Yes.
We're going to get into what are we watching, and then we'll sign off, and we will see you next week. So, Quinn, what are you watching?
Well, in honor of Doomscroll, I'm going to start rewatching some of the older Marvel films. Because I've watched a good amount of them. A couple I haven't watched, a couple I haven't watched in a while. So I'm going to start going back through and doing a bit of a Marvel binge. Let's see if I get burnt down in about a week or so. Don't know yet. Yeah, other than that, as usual, I'm just watching a bunch of YouTube while I de-stress from school.
Sounds about right. We'll probably be doing a X-Men movie rewatch at some point. Because the X-Men are coming back in Doomsday, and that's important. And so we need.
And it is Sir Patrick Stewart's last role ever.
Patrick Stewart is gonna finish it off, sending it off by being one of the best Professor X's ever.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's coming up. Excited? Yeah, lots of those old Marvel movies go unwatched, and you don't realize how classic and awesome they are.
Yeah. Yeah, we will discuss the specifics of how we're going to be doing
Doomscrolling later, yeah.
Yeah.
We just wanted to kick it off and announce that Doomscrolling is happening this year. It's going to be a year-long thing, but because we have so much content we got to get through to get to Doomsday, we needed to start it sooner than later.
Yeah. All right. What
you
about
gotta
yourself?
ask me now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you watching? No, just me. I'm the only one that cares about. No, what are you watching, my friend?
Well, we kind of said it earlier. I just finished season 1 of The Punisher again, rewatching that. Just because I'm trying to get into the Daredevil Born Again. Love that season. You really need to watch it. You need to jump on it. That's actually the show you're supposed to watch right after Defenders.
Is Punisher?
Is Punisher. Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the timeline. So love the first season. Super good. I mean, it's Punisher.
Yeah. I don't know if I told this on the podcast or if I just told you, or I don't know if maybe mentioned to you. Punisher came out around the time where I was like, violence, gross.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why I never watched like the Invincibles or Boys or the Boys or whatever. But I've realized I kind of need to go back and rewatch those films where I'm like, all right, I need to stop being a wiener and actually like enjoy good media.
Yeah, you said that last week too.
Yeah, I didn't remember if I said it last week or if that was just like in private.
No, you did. That's good, and that's fine. And like I said, violence is not everybody's thing. And that's fine. There's other shows for you to go watch, mystery dramas and stuff. But Punisher, oh man, I love that guy. I just watched an episode the other night, and like he was fighting some people. The way the Punisher does things is that he just takes the bullets. Like there's one scene where he was like trying to get out of like danger. Like he just got lit up like 10 times, getting shot in the back, and then like as he's running, he's but still running because he has his vest on, and then like does a summer roll onto the dead guy, picks him up, puts it on his back as a shield, and starts running away as they keep shooting, but it's shooting the body, and he's it's so good. It's just like there's no other character that I would allow to do that, and I would go, that is amazing. It's like any other character would be like, well, that's dumb.
That's dumb. That's so
okay. What are you?
Freaking corny. Like.
All right, here. I guess, bro. I guess, bro.
I guess we're doing that.
But then like Punisher does it, and I'm like, oh yeah!
But
Pick up that dead body. Use the shield.
But it's John Bernthal, so you make exceptions.
It is for that guy. Yes. That's about it for me. I'm not really doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing some other things, and like I said before, I was very busy last week. So we will update you guys next week. You can follow us on Instagram at Part of My Geek Pod. You can find me and Quinn there. That's where we'll post fun clips, first reactions from movies, other fun things. Maybe you forgot an episode, and I post. The editor will post a clip or something. Not me.
No. The editor. The omnipotent, one-eyed editor.
He's very scary.
He doesn't like it when we take his work as our own.
Yeah, he doesn't like that when we put matters in our own hands. We made some deal with him, and now he has to work for us. And I don't think he really likes us, but we'll see.
He at least tolerates us. He's still here, you know?
He's still here. That's true. He's still here. So, that's it for today. Quinn, you got anything left to say?
No, sir. I'm all good.
Alrighty then that will be it. So this has been Pardon My Geek podcast. My name's Josiah.
I'm Quinn.
That's Quinn. He's Quinn right there.
That's Josiah.
Yep.
He's right there.
Yeah, and that's the audience right there. And we're just gonna sign off. We regret nothing that we said because it's all true and geek related. Peace out.
Yep.
Editor, blow us up.